Now it's time for an interview with Ian Tucker, once one of Britain's most wanted men, and he's certainly got a few stories to tell. Brendan, who have we got here in the chair?
We have got the legend, that is Ian Tucker, right?
Ian he is Tucker, a legend, isn't he?
He is the real deal Tucker, right? He is, listen, I made Dave laugh, but he stood beside Dave and done whatever needed to be done, and Dave would go nowhere without this man here if he was going to do a little bit of debt collecting.
And a lot of people have been after this man, haven't they? In a lot of ways.
Everyone. So we've had a little bit of a coup here getting Ian to come and talk to us, which I'm really, really grateful. Yeah. Right, he's come to the house just partly to say goodbye and give us a chat. So thank you so much, Ian.
Pleasure.
You knew Dave a long, long time, worked with him. How did that all start about?
Oh, Jesus. Me and Dave, we bumped into each other, kept bumping into each other. Various clubs that we was going to, Ministry, Gas Club, Park Club. And the minute we got talking, we were like inseparable for like, I'd say about eight or 9 years, you know. We was just flat out bouncing off of each other, earning a few quid.
He always said the best 8 years of his life were with Ian Tucker, you know, for the action-packed things. No one, he said, the things me and Tucker done together and the feeling he got with Tucker, nothing could replicate it when them two was on a roll together.
Were you especially wanted at one point?
I was. Crime Watch put me on there as one of the most 12 wanted men in Britain, and I was sending them pictures, or I offered to send them a picture when they put me on there, because I said the picture they'd put on wasn't a very good one, and I offered to send them another one.
And the night that Dave met Piers Hearn, who has been on here before, this was the gentleman that Dave took him to meet for the first article ever in the magazine.
Yeah. Front magazine.
Front magazine. Yeah. They made the front page of it, Britain's Most Wanted Man, and you had your photo done with a policeman, didn't you?
Yeah, we went and got some policeman's hats and stood next to some coppers in Leicester Square and had our pictures taken. And I was one of the most wanted men in England at the time, just to take the piss. Now, I knew that they had absolutely nothing, right, or they was going to charge me for anything, but they wanted to put me on remand for 6 to 9 months while they got it all to court, you know. But the fellas that went to court for supposedly kidnapping people and God knows what else, it all got thrown out. And once they never had a case with them, they never had a case with me. So, but they were very close on getting me on a few occasions, to be fair.
Have you always managed to kind of stay out of the nick and things like that? Or
I've had a few touches. I've done 4 years basically behind the door. The last one was 6 months for two attempted kidnaps, but we had I think it was a 13-day trial at Belmarsh Crown Court, and that all got thrown out. So I had 6 months off of me for absolutely nothing. Yeah, which really hurts.
That's the one that hurts, isn't it?
When you've done something wrong,
Dave always used to say that.
You don't mind getting banged up. You do your bit, and then you crack on. But to get banged up when you've done nothing wrong, it really does hurt. Really. You know, all these post office people that are absolutely innocent from, honest as the day's long, live for the post office and end up getting locked up. That one hurts. I swear to God.
I don't know how you deal with that.
You can't even start to imagine that how it would affect your life, when you actually done nothing wrong and you get locked up. It's just, honestly.
What was it actually like for people who are watching this who haven't been to prison? What is it like? How do you cope with it?
The worst thing about getting locked up these days is the food that they serve you up, and obviously with the COVID situation, right? It's like 23-hour bang up now. It's probably eased up a little bit, but it's not good.
And a lot of it's who you're in there with, Ian, isn't it?
Exactly.
You have to share cells and...
Yeah, well, when you first get locked up, you think you're being clever by saying I'm not getting banged up with anybody. If you put me in with anybody, they're going under the bed and all that. But by doing that, it makes you even more high risk.
Right.
So eventually you've got to wind your neck in and go, oh, well, all right, I don't mind shit. You can't get a job, you can't get this, you can't get out your room, like you're banged up because you're dangerous, So me going, listen, I'm not sharing with everybody, it don't help you. No. But it takes you a little while to realise that,
Yeah. So you've had a few stretches inside.
I've done a few. I've done. I got 6.5 for a firearm, and done 3 years, 3 months of that. But I was basically moved from here to Liverpool, from Liverpool to Doncaster, from Doncaster to.
You've done a tour then?
No, listen. I, as soon as I started getting comfortable anywhere, they moved me.
Why did they move you?
If you're one of the chaps basically, and you're quite well known or quite well respected, then they don't like having you in their nick for too long, in case you get too comfortable,
When did you first sort of start heading that way in your life to sort of a how would we call it, criminal activity? What would we say, Brendan?
I would have said it once. I mean, it's only criminal in some people's eyes. Other people thought they were angels for what they've done. Do you know what I mean? It's only the people on the receiving end of it didn't really find it as attractive.
No,
I suppose I got into training and got up to about 19, 20 stone, and I must have looked quite threatening, and and when you're looking like that, 6'3" and 20 stone.
Mine looking threatening. Dave always said he was a f***ing monster when he kicked off. He loved it.
And you still have a tear up, so
Did you enjoy having a tear up?
Oh, listen.
He was one of them. He would have.
He loved it.
Yeah, he absolutely loved it. Yeah.
How many tear ups do you have? Is it like a nightly thing, or is
not as many as Marcus? Marcus was,
But he was a doorman. He
was cracking on the doors and fighting every weekend.
And he'd become a challenge to people. Yeah. Loads of people would come to Dave and say, Dave, can you go and get this money back for me?
Yeah.
They've repossessed cars before, haven't you?
Cars, houses.
Stole goldfish or carp.
Oh, that was a funny one. We got to this massive, great big house, and he knocked a fella that we know for about 40 grand for doing a kitchen up. And basically, me and Dave are in there, and we've gone round the back, and there's all these koi carp in this pond. Anyway, I'm looking in there, and Dave got this net and he's pulling them about. He said, "Do you know what, they're worth a few quid, them fish." I went, "Stop." He went, honestly, he said, "They're worth a few." Right. Anyway, so I'm on the phone to a fella, and I've got an orange one, and I've got it's yellow, and it's got some black bits on it. And anyway, I'm describing all these fish, and the fella, I've got to about 20. I said, "Listen, Dave, we've got to take a lot." We've ended up getting watering cans, black bin liners, you name it, anything that we could put something in, right? And we filled my car up with all these fish. I was going, "Dave, what about this one?" He was going, "No, I don't want that one." Throwing it over his head. Listen, I swear to God, honestly.
But the funniest bit of that story was Dave
God.
took it to Nigel's house.
We took one of these fish to Nigel Benn. We was palling with him at the time. Anyway, we was going round to his parties and God knows what else. But we've gone round, Nigel's not in, and we've got this fish. We thought, Anyway, we put it in his fish pond. Oh my God, it's only killed everything.
Dave went to see Nigel on the Sunday and went, "All right, how's your fish?" He went, "Oh, don't talk to me about them." So Dave then didn't say nothing. He went, "Something got brought a virus into it and killed the whole lot."
Nigel's now going to know.
Well, Nigel, listen, if you're watching, that was us, and we're really sorry. I'm blaming Dave.
Definitely Dave trying to be nice, Nigel. But I'll tell you that there was a story which is legendary, right? When there was a night when him and Dave were going to the boat. There was a boat party. And they just happened to be on the way there. You weren't aware what was happening here, were you?
No, we'd been out all night, ministry and you name it, we'd been there. Anyway, we left the ministry early hours of the morning, and it was a yacht club on the embankment. And me and Dave all the little entourage that used to follow us around, and we basically go with our girlfriends, Jen, and anybody that was with us, you know. Anyway, we used to, wherever we went, we used to get looked after really, really nice, you know. Used to let us in, red carpet treatment, champagne, drinks, whatever.
But it brought a bit of safety to the venue.
Mm-hmm.
The fact that him and Dave were participants, and they are just their names gave the venue a little bit of safety.
Well, nobody's going to kick off, are they?
No.
Well, we got there, you know, bouncing about, and you know, like we were just, you know, in party mood.
Mm-hmm.
And we got there, and the next minute we're ushered into the office on the yacht. What's going on here? You know, like 3 or 4 black fellas there. You know, like I'm not sure whether we knew them or not, but basically, I think it was the fella that was running it said, "Look, we've got a major problem here." You know, and we was actually. They'd obviously knew there was going to be a problem sooner or later because they'd said to us, "We need some guns." So, no problem, we'll sort that, no problem. Anyway, so we got bits and pieces with us, and but when we got there, the managers called us in with this other fella, and he went, "Listen, this is how it is." He said, "I've put more doormen on." He said, "I've put more DJs on. We are now having half of this yacht club, right? Whatever's going on, we're having half the money, right?" And this is saying this to the boss of the boat. I can't even think what his name was now. And like, we're there going, "What?" He went, "This is what's happening." Anyway, it didn't work out like that for him. You know, he's got.
I think he pulled a thing, didn't he?
He's got three or four of his mates standing there that were proper lumps, you know. Anyway, he's standing there telling us how it is, and Dave went, "Listen." He said, "You've got it wrong." They pulled out this Smith & Wesson from his waistband. They put it straight between his fella's eyes. He went, "Listen," he said, "there's me, him, Smith & Wesson." He said, "I'm telling you now, you've got more of a problem than what you thought you had. If you're not off of this boat within 20 minutes, right, you're going to get a new belly button." Oh my fucking God. You know, to actually witness that, right, me standing there, I'm telling you that I heard it.
Honest truth.
That is what exactly happened, right? That's just one. There's fucking hundreds.
Yeah,
So he had a bottle, Dave, didn't he?
Oh, listen, you know, just off the cuff, Dave just put it straight on this fella, right? And he just melted, you know, like.
I bumped into that man about 10, 12 years ago with Dave on a boat party on the Thames, right? And in fairness to him, he come over to Dave and he went, "Dave, do you remember me?" And Dave genuinely didn't know who it was. And he went, "Dave, I'll tell you," he said, "you're the only white man that ever made me bummy." Which apparently makes, in Yardie talk, means shit yourself.
Yes.
But he shook Dave's hand and he went, "Fair play, Dave, you can put it on me."
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
But you know, the bullying of what was going on there, right? But we just walked straight into it.
By chance.
What the fella had said, "Listen, Dave Courtney and Tucker come on this boat, and they're not going to be very happy about what's going on here."
Yeah.
And he went, "Get them down here, then fuck them."
Yeah.
Right? But he left with his tail between his legs that day, I'm telling you. But the thing is, I wouldn't even know what he looked like. Brendan said he met him, but I wouldn't even know. He could bump into me tomorrow. I wouldn't know what he looked like. You know, it was that long ago. You know, but listen, that's just one of the situations. But and even on the way home that night, right, we left there and we was going to a party in Camden or something like that, and we've left there. Me, Jen, Julia, Dave. We've gone into Kentucky. That was we've spoke about this on, me and Dave fucking million times. But we went into the Kentucky in King's Cross, and this fella come in. He must have been fucking 7 foot. He's come in, and he's looked at us, and he went, "What's happening, girls? What, you just say the words, and these fellas go to work, do they?" And that. Anyway, he proper give it to us for about 20 minutes, and we're like, "Is he for real, this fella?" Anyway, he kept on and on and on and on. Right, anyway, he just decided that he'd got away with enough. Anyway, he sort of slipped off out the door, and I'm fuming. I was absolutely livid. I went, Dave, I can't suffer that. And he went, no, nor can I. So we went out the door looking for him. I went right and Dave went left, but I got him. I went flying. He went, I really think you are. I went, listen, crack, I've hit him. I'm fucking telling you, he took off, this fella. He actually took off. His fucking head hit the floor. He went up and his head hit the floor first, and then before he fucking even, Dave went running up to him and he went, and I hope you like fucking soup. And we was driving to Manchester the next day, me and Dave. We had to go up and see somebody else about some money that he'd collected. And he went, wherever he is and he's woke up, he's going to go, fucking hell, don't go in that Kentucky.
What was that story that you wanted him to tell? Will he tell it? That's the thing.
I don't know whether he can tell that story. I mean, it's a favourite for me, but it involved a piece of wood, you know what I mean, that Ian had specially made.
Basically, my mate's rung me up and he went in and he said, you need to help me out here. He's gone down the pub, he's got pissed, he's had a row with his missus, and there's been a fella in the bar who's basically given him a cheap shot and punched him, knocked him about all over the place. And he says, my local pub, he said, I can't have it in. He said, he's doing me fucking head in. He said, we'll be able to sort it out. So anyway, I said, right. So me and Dave were coming back from somewhere. I said, let me just pop in here somewhere. Anyway, so we popped in to see this fella. I won't give you any
You don't need to know
names or,
yeah.
But this is the God's honest truth. We've gone to this fella and he's working in a wood yard. Right. Anyway, I've gone in there and it's my bit of work.
Before he says this is Ian on his own. Dave was just standing watching, and when Dave told me this story, he went, I fucking pissed myself from how he done it. He said how he went in there. He went, I didn't know what he was going to do. He went, this was all Ian on his own. He said it was fucking hilarious to watch. So
anyway, basically, I've gone in there and I've said, Dave, my bit of work, right, let me do the talking, right, if there's anything I forget, let me know, right, or you can say your bit, whatever, you know. We just used to bounce off of each other. It was funny as fuck. Anyway, so basically I've gone in there and I've clocked the fella. Anyway, so I thought, right. I said, it's a wood yard. I said, you ain't got a bit of banister around, mate, about that sort of big, you know, that sort of round. Hang on, mate. So anyway, so he's come back with this bit of wood and I went, yeah, that's about right. I said, yeah, spot on. Anyway, let me just file these burrs off, and so he's sanding it down and, you know, shaping it all up for me. And I've gone, yeah, that's about right, lovely. And I've gone, crack, I've hit him. Absolutely poggered this fella with his bit of wood. Right, fucking claret all over me and everything, you know, like I've taught the fella a lesson from fucking bullying the fella in the pub. So, listen, it was, Dave just went, I fucking can't believe what you've just done. He said, that was fucking mental.
and Ian has got out, you've pulled the old bill before, haven't you?
Oh, fucking we're driving around Elephant and Castle. We're going, I don't know where we were going, but it was fucking early hours in the morning after the gas club. And I've seen our bill car with one of the back lights out. Anyway, I'm flying, I'm fucking, God knows what somebody put in my drink, but I was flying anyway. I said, fucking look at them. Fucking no light, no back light. So I've jumped out the car, the fucking traffic lights, they were in front of me. I said, open the door. I said, can you get out of the car, please? I said, give me the ignition keys. He's fucking, they were like, armed response unit, right? I said, can you get out of the car, please, and give me the ignition key? And he went, what the fuck is going on? I said, listen, I said, you've got a back light out. I said, you know what he's fucking like now, don't you? Dave went, you fucking, I'll tell you another one. We'd been out all night, we'd been to the ministry all night. Anyway, we went back to Dave's in Woolwich at the time. Anyway, we was going back to the Frog and Nightgown. I've overtook Mark car, been about 60, 70 mile an hour. They're all stationary and I'm going, stereo on, fucking suitcase out the door and all. Lying down. Anyway, so I've gone past Mark's old bill car. I went, fuck Anyway, I've quickly slammed the brakes on. Dave went, you funny, he was trying to fucking lose everything in the car and everything. And I went, slammed it in reverse. Before they could pull out, they was on me, you know. Before they could pull out, I quickly slammed it in reverse. Fucking reverse back. I went, listen, I said, there's a couple of fellas having a tear up back there. I said, one of them's just pulled out a knife. I said, he went, pull forward, pull forward. Dave went, I can't fucking believe you've just done that. Oh, honestly, fucking funny.
I know Dave told me a story once where they had to go and repossess a very flashy sports car, wasn't it, Ian?
I can't, just be honest, we did do it. It was for Freddie Foreman. And I remember getting there, and I can't really remember.
But he said he had to, like, because they didn't have the wheels on the car, they had to wait until they put the wheels.
We had to get the mechanics to put all the wheels on. They had it all stripped down and everything. And we basically turned up and basically said, listen, stop what you're doing and fucking put it back together now. Right, we need it sorted. Right, we're leaving here in half an hour with this car, or there's going to be all kinds of trouble. Anyway, there was a A4 bit of paper with a list of things. This car had been tuned to the box. Absolutely. God knows, it had nitrous oxide, and I think it was a Ferrari or something like that. But they'd spent, I don't know, there'd been a discrepancy problem with what they'd done to it and what they wanted to pay for it. And so basically we had to go and pick it. But they said, well, we've got the car, so so no, that weren't the story. We wanted the car back. And you know, like, so basically we got this car. All the wheels went back on, all the mechanics are shit themselves, so they put all the car back together again. And, oh my God, thinking about Dave driving it home.
He said he was really too big for it, wasn't he, when he got in it?
He got in this car, I swear to God, and he was trying to go through this list of all the things he had to do because he had to run it in. And next minute, I see Dave take off down the road. There was flames coming out the back of his Ferrari. I went, Dave, what oh my God. Next minute, he went round the corner and the fucking whole lot went sideways. Oh my fucking God, honestly. Jesus Christ, I swear to God.